Okay, guys. Going live. Get some audio going. All right, how are we going, everyone? Very soon, I'll be getting a call from the studio and we'll be live on the air. Hopefully the audio is sounding okay, or at least pretty good. Let's see. We'll see if we can fire up the good old 6PR on the Sonos. Come on, where is it? Nope. I'm going to find it. Stations. 6PR. There it is.
Choose a new Toyota from Galleria Toyota in Morley and the value stays with you. Like Prado GXL, drive away from $65,990. Terms and conditions apply. Offer ends June 30 unless extended. Visit galleriatoyota.com.au. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
If your business sends or receives money globally, you already know exchange rates can have a big impact. I'm Max, your local OF expert, and I help Aussie business owners like you navigate currency swings. By taking simple steps to plan ahead, you can protect your bottom line. Small things can make a big difference to your business, like being able to call an OF expert anytime, day or night. Get an OF expert like Max working for you. ofx.com/save. Consider the PBS.
On 882 6PR, this is Perth
All right,
Tonight
so typically,
with Chris Isley.
92211882.
Chris comes on, he takes a few more calls.
Ben Aylett's going to be on your radio very shortly and talking technology.
That's right.
Some technological problem or some issue you're trying to get explained to you that nobody's ever explained to you quite correctly in a way that you can understand. He's a man to have a chat to.
I'll do my best.
Meantime, Glenn.
Good evening, young Christopher. Of course, interesting listening to Clive Bevan, and look, I respect him greatly because
there's going to be a but. There's always a but. Beware the but.
But I've got some disagreement in what he's been saying.
There it is.
And that is, just say, for example, 20 is the maximum you can have in a restaurant presently. And let's say in maybe 3 or 4 weeks, they allow them to go up to 50. My problem there is that's the height of, or the start of cold and flu season. How discomforting would it be sitting in a restaurant and someone coughing or sneezing, albeit they might be sneezing into a tissue or their sleeve or whatever. But the present society at the moment, it's discomforting.
Come on, Skype.
And regardless of who you are,
Where the hell is it?
for many of us, perception is reality. Now, this Saturday, I cut my shopping short. Purely and simply, there was an ignorant woman in the shop coughing without taking any modicum of preventative measure and just coughing. It was a dry cough, but coughing into the general atmosphere around me. In the next aisle, I cut my shopping short.
Because obviously that bothered you.
Of course it does.
Mind you, I must say, that's something that people have been really bad at for an awful long time.
Oh, yeah, look, but the thing about it is, it's not what it is.
There we go.
Yes, of course.
If you're sitting in a romantic situation...
Right, that's better.
There we go. Got you this time.
Sorry about that.
You're all good, mate. All right, well, Chris wants to try and push you forward a little bit, so we're going to get you lined up now, if that's okay.
All right, that's good.
All right, perfect. No worries. Hold on, we'll get you in just a sec.
Cool, okay.
More respectful of others.
All right,
And
we are
generally washing
live.
your hands.
And we're recording. Here we go.
Personal cleanliness, personal hygiene has been lifted to another level.
I think you're probably right about that, Glenn. And all I've got to say about that is thank goodness for that. We've finally seen hygiene lifted to a higher level. Must be time to have a chat to Ben Aylett and have a chat about technology. BenAylett.com, 1L, 2 T's in Aylett. He's still isolated there. We're over here. Hello, Ben.
Hello, Chris. How's things?
Oh, mate, you sound like you're even further away. Nice little echo happening there.
Well, I'll have to try and work that out during the break, I think.
Oh, no, that's all right. No, it's just an echo like you're in one of those rooms that made you seem all that long, far away. Mate, how goes life at the moment? What's happening in the world of technology?
The world of technology is plugging along nicely. It seems that you can isolate us nerds, but we still thrive.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I wondered, had business slowed down a fair bit?
Business hasn't actually slowed down. It's more like it's changed. So the typical business I get, where it's mostly running around and seeing people and attending their place of work or home, that's pretty much dropped off. But helping out other businesses when it comes to tackling situations like working from home, COVID-19, and that sort of thing, that's actually picked up. So I was a part of a large deployment a few weeks ago where we had to get an office that was in Broome online very, very quickly. So they all had to be prepped to work from home.
Yeah. How is the working from home thing going from a technological standpoint? Is it going pretty smoothly, or are people having quite a few problems?
It's actually going remarkably smoothly. So people that are choosing to work from home, fortunately, we've gotten most of the stuff we need. But we have seen a run on things like web cameras, microphones, headsets, monitors, desks, chairs. So people have actually got serious about setting up their working from home rigs.
I'm almost scared to ask this question.
Okay.
And I'm going to.
All right.
You know what the question is?
No.
The question is, I don't even know why I'm asking this, how's the network held up?
Well, I haven't heard of any problems yet. I have got a few clients talk to me about their Wi-Fi signal because they'd like to be able to watch Netflix in the front room away from the kids. But apart from that, there's really not been many complaints.
Oh, okay. So it's run pretty well.
So far, so good, knock on wood.
I was always wondering how the network was going to handle it, and we were kind of being psyched up for the fact that it wasn't going to handle it all that well.
Yeah, well, in this case, I think we've had that capacity built in, so that it's actually been able to handle it technically. It's really the restraints have been, I suppose, artificially put in place. They're not actually technical restraints, they're more commercial restraints that we've had to deal with in the past.
Yeah, we've had to, I should have realised. By the way, the number, if you'd like to have a chat to Ben, 92211 882. Hello, James.
Hello, Chris. Hello, the man with the tropical shirt.
Hello, how you going?
How are you, Ben?
I'm very well. What's up, mate?
Listen, a couple of things. Chromecast. I may have asked before, and I do apologise if I'm repeating myself.
Yep.
When I change to ND, and I sit on my phone and I try and Chromecast something, it says, bugger off, sorry, go away, because the numbers obviously changed because of the new modem type thing for NBN.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I change it on the computer in Chromecast, or do I change it on the boxing? I've got no idea.
Okay, so yes, you change your router, which means that all the passwords and everything change. The best way to deal with this is to use the Google Home app on your phone. So you make sure that your phone is connected to your Wi-Fi network at home. You then open up the app and you choose to add a device. And once you add that device, it'll go through the process and it'll take the settings from your phone and apply it to the Chromecast, and away you go.
Oh, wow, that's that easy. So
It is.
I've got to log into the Google app. What's it called, sorry?
The Google Home app.
Oh, no worries
Yeah.
at all. I'll move quickly. I've got a couple. Sorry, Chris, in the background.
That's all right. That's all right.
Number two was my iPhone. I'm still reluctant to change it because I backed it up to iTunes to the computer.
Yep.
Now, if I go to back it up to, can I also back it up to the cloud? Click the cloud and then back it up there as well. Can you do both?
Oh, absolutely, you can do both. You can back it up to as many places as you like, as often as you like. The only limitation will be the amount of storage you can handle to give up. So,
I've got thousands of photos, and
Yep.
I want to make sure when I do a backup that it saves all my photos.
Okay. Now, there's a couple of things you can do there. So, yes, of course, back up to your computer because you've got heaps of storage space to play with there. Backing up to iTunes or to the cloud, the Apple cloud, typically the free account is quite small, so I wouldn't try to back up photos there. Instead, I'd be looking at Google Photos. So go to photos.google.com on your computer or download the Google Photos app onto your phone. Do that, Google app on your phone. Doesn't matter if it's an iPhone or an Android, they play nicely with everything. And you can actually back up your photos automatically to your Google account, which most people already have.
I hope Chris has not got steam coming out of it. He's going to do one more thing.
All right.
My sister's got an old HTC phone. Is that what they're called? HTC.
Uh-huh.
And what she wants to do, she's found one on eBay, a new one, because she's got a cracked screen, and she wants to transfer all her data over. I mean, you can't back it up to iTunes because it's not an iPhone. Is there something that, like how to back up on an HTV, whatever it is? Mobile phone?
Yeah,
HTC. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, HTC phones run on Android, and Android is by the good people at Google. So you can actually back up everything that is on the Android phone to the relative Google service. So obviously at Photos, go to Google Photos. Contacts, go to Google Contacts. If you've got any documents, you can save that as well. Just make sure you synchronize with the online Google service. The best way to test that is to then jump on your computer and go to the relevant services through a web browser. And if you see the settings on the web browser and on the phone, then you've backed it up.
Good stuff. Thank you very much for that, James. And if you'd like to have a chat to Ben Aylett, he's our tech man. BenAylett.com is the website, by the way. 92211882. And Ben Aylett's 1L, 2 T's in Aylett.com is where you'll find all of Ben's contact information. Number, if you have a question of your own for Ben right now, though, is 92211882.
60 seconds. 10 questions.
All right.
$1,000. 6PR's $1,000 minute with Steve and Baz.
There we go.
Door replacement
This is a new view that I've set up. So you guys get to have a peek behind the scenes, so to speak. I've got behind me my green screen, which can be used to be transparent, or I can put a background behind me, which is very handy. Microphone, of course, my main camera here. I've got Doonas hung up on the walls, on both walls, to help try and deaden the sound. So hopefully the sound is a little bit better. But I've had to put the microphone so far away from my face. It's probably not working. So we'll have to work that out. I'm not too sure what's going on there. But there you go. That's a quick peek behind the scenes. I've got all my monitors in front of me. Good to go. If you've got any questions on how you'd like to get things set up, just give me a yell. Just catch me at benaylett.com. There it is right there. All right.
Emergency help at the touch of a button. Our personal medical alarms and safety devices.
I've got some hiss in the audio. Okay, thanks, Darko.
And our 4G range means no phone lines are needed with simple plug-and-play installation and express postage Australia-wide. You can be safe and secure within 48 hours.
Hiss could be coming from my laptop, which is absolutely barreling away. It's working really, really hard.
It's never been easier to have a well-kept garden. And there's nothing quite like the perfect lawn.
Let's see.
Hours of free time with Husqvarna Automower. Enjoy more time doing what you love while your lawn is kept in perfect shape. Husqvarna has intelligent robotic mowers for every size and shape of lawn to give you a lush green cut. Upgrade your everyday with Husqvarna Automower, the smart way to mow. Find your perfect match at Husqvarna.com.
Clocking up the K's, the endless highway of our lives. A to B, land and sea. the unsung hero drives. From pasta bowls to toilet rolls, for what those trucks keep proving, NTI says, thank you. You keep Australia moving.
Hi, it's Brendan Nottle from the Salvation Army here. This is a heartbreaking, overwhelming crisis, and today, as every day, the Salvos are doing what we can to help people experiencing their own personal disaster. In the midst of turmoil, you can help those hardest hit. Whether they're ill, have lost their job and facing poverty, or simply lonely, you can give practical help and hope. Go to salvationarmy.org.au to give to the Red Shield Appeal now, and please help us leave no one in need.
Until midnight, this is Perth Tonight with Chris Isley on 882 6PR.
Welcome to it. Tuesday nights, if you'd like to have a chat to Ben Aylett, got some technological issues, piece of technology perhaps not working the way it's supposed to, or maybe there's something you just want to ask about. Can it do fill in this space? It's always at times much appreciated, Ben. Mate, I note that we had an email from our friend Mark at Telstra. He was talking about something I found absolutely interesting. They've announced the introduction of a new cyber security program. It's called Cleaner Pipes, which kind of makes sense. I reckon it's a really cool name, actually. The aim is to better protect against cyber attack. And here's something. Just looking at the 3 months, January to March 2020, Telstra blocked 1.46 million scam calls. 1.46 million, which is quite amazing. They've got some reactive SMS blocking in place. It's primarily for illegal routing where overseas providers are trying to route through Australia to decrease their cost. And try this one on for size. We block more than 23 million email addresses a day. That's almost one for every man, woman and child in the country. Just a bit shorter than that, but pretty close to it. It's a good thing to see, because I think one of the best ways to protect people from scams is to never allow the scam to get to them.
Absolutely right. So this is a great initiative by Telstra, and hats off to them for actually stepping up and doing the right thing. Some might argue that this is like a bit of a firewall or overreach. I mean, I, for one, am quite happy to have this sort of protection put in place, because a lot of the stuff is obviously malicious. And so another thing that they're doing is they're doing something called DNS filtering or DNS blocking, which is a technique used by very advanced cybersecurity companies.
Okay. Now listen, Mr. Geek. DNS, please explain.
Oh, DNS. Now, DNS stands for Domain Name Service. This is effectively the phone book for the internet, and it is a distributed phone book. So when I type in google.com, the computers don't actually see google.com. They see a whole bunch of numbers relating to the address of where they will find google.com and then serve me that address. DNS blocking actually keeps a register of known bad DNS names or bad website names. So, malwaresite.com, it could be a malicious site where it's got a really bad track record for serving malicious software. So DNS blocking will simply stop people from visiting that site.
Well, that's doing you a favour, isn't it? Why would anyone be opposed to that? Stopping you going somewhere where you might get some malware, which might, for example, end up with personal information being compromised, I would say they're doing you a favour.
Absolutely. And in this case, I would agree it is a good thing. We have seen attempts with other parties, i.e. the government, in trying to restrict access to certain services that they thought weren't in their interest. But the public would say, no, hang on a sec, we still want to be able to access whatever we want to access. So this was along the lines of blocking access to file sharing services or video streaming services that the government didn't think were legitimate.
I thought it was interesting that up to date, over 7,000 complaints about scams have been actioned by Telstra. Of those 7,000, 27% were email phishing scams that targeted the Telstra brand. In other words, they pretended to be Telstra, hoping that people would give them information. 24% were telephone scams. Believe it or not, only 7% were SMS-related complaints. And they note that COVID-19 has seen a small drop in phone scams during the latter part of February, March and the start of April. And I think they're on the money because they suggest it might be due to global lockdowns, which has seen scammers having to adapt a work-from-home business model, which is contrary to their standard business practice. How about that? COVID-19 has had a profound impact on scammers.
Yeah, yes.
Work from home, use my own phone if I'm a scammer.
Well, if you're going to operate a criminal syndicate, you probably don't want to operate it from your own home. So, yeah, I can see that's why it'd have an impact on their business.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. You talked about DNS, and they block an average of 500,000 malicious DNS queries daily.
Yep.
It's an average. Of course, that figure can fluctuate. We understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2019, they blocked more than 1 billion malicious queries.
Yeah, that's a lot of queries.
Show how much is out there, and also just how much dodgy people are trying to get at you.
That's right, yeah. And that's also, just keep in mind, that's just for their customers alone.
Yeah. Yeah, then you add all the other phone companies. It must be huge. The big one, of course, is people pretending to be a phone company.
Well,
and
yeah.
saying, if you don't do X, Y, and Z, we're going to cut your service off.
Yeah, it's always a popular one to try and leverage the name of a very well-known organisation, be it a telecommunications provider or a government department. And that's really how scammers get their job done.
I also wonder how many people have discovered that they've received an email that purports to be from a legitimate business that they subsequently find out is not from a legitimate business and, in fact, is a scam. Because sometimes some of this stuff, especially when it uses company logos, it looks really authentic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The scammers are actually getting smarter and smarter. Just last week, I had to help out with an incident where a company had been compromised because one of their suppliers or one of the businesses they do business with got compromised, and the bad guys had actually managed to get their way into an email system. And when someone, so they sent out the bad emails, when someone received the email and replied to it to say, did you mean to send this attachment? It forwarded all the emails to the bad guy's email address, which they then replied directly back to say, yes, it is a legitimate attachment when it wasn't. And so they're circumventing that reply chain that we do. So when you receive a weird attachment, you really should always go back and verify. So when you reply in that email, the idea is that the bad guy doesn't see that. The person who owns that email address comes back and said, no, I don't remember sending that to you. Then you know it's a scam. The bad guys have actually found a way around that. So in order to counter that, we've got to do something like pick up the phone or send a text message, do something called out-of-band verification, where you talk to the people who claim to have sent the email through a different channel.
Yeah, I've always had a policy of never answering those anyway. Reason being because the moment you do, you confirm to the bad guys that they've hit a legitimate address. I mean, there'll be a whole raft of addresses that are not legitimate, people are not using anymore. There'll be a whole reason why they're not. If you reply, what you also do is say to those people, this is a legitimate address.
Yeah, that's one of the many ways you can deal with it for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So if you ignore it and you don't reply to it, then what you're doing is you're successful in not confirming to them that they've got a valid address. Sure, they're not going to get a bounce back, which you would normally get saying the address is no longer valid. Yeah. But then there can be a whole raft of addresses that are no longer in use or no longer being used for any meaningful purpose, to which you might send spam and you get no reply back from it.
Yeah.
The moment he replies, what they do is they say to the scammers, you have hit a legitimate address. And that, I think, is a problem.
Yeah, it sure is. So not replying is kind of one way to handle it. The thing is that a lot of these spam campaigns are automated. So they send out millions of emails. They might get a couple of hits where people reply. And then they might go and update that address list. But these address lists are traded openly on the black market. So not replying to it, yes, that will go to some extent where the system is not automated. But if it is automated, it's not really going to care. It's just going to continue on its merry way.
Now, I've got an email from Gavin.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually asks a really interesting question in relation to this, because he said, you were talking about scams and what have you.
Yep.
He said, what's the best way to protect yourself from them? And even though that seems like an obvious question, I think it's a really good question.
Yeah, it's a question we should be asking ourselves almost constantly. So whenever you see an email that is asking you to do something, open a link, download a file, or send back information, you really should be stopping and asking yourself, is this legitimate? Now, really the only best way I can suggest that we verify that these are real or fake emails, you pick up the phone and you talk to the person that sent the email if you didn't expect a link or a form or an attachment. It's unfortunately getting to that point where you really can't trust email.
Isn't that sad? We're getting to the point where if you've got an attachment, the first thing you have to do is question whether it's legitimate. Do you think that we've reached a point where we might have to come up with another way of communicating? And if we do, the chances are that scammers are going to find a way to get around that one too.
Oh, look, scammers always find a way, but I'm personally looking forward to the time when we don't use email anymore because it is inherently insecure. It is not encrypted. It is not actually secure. Could it be secured? It takes a lot of verification to be actually sure that the person you're talking to is the person you're talking to. So yes, it can be made secure, but there's a fair bit of work involved. And the people in the know would know of a tool called PGP, which stands for Pretty Good Privacy. It's a way of encrypting an email message. There's a lot of gymnastics involved in trying to get this to work, where you have to exchange keys and verify identities, and then you've got to encrypt a message, send it to them, they decrypt it, read it, and then it's a few extra steps and it's a bit of a hassle, but it is super secure.
So here's the other point, and something I've always realised, we have to make it easy for the average person.
Yeah, absolutely. Making it easy is the key, and this is where I see social media coming into play, because you can actually enforce some end-to-end encryption, and this is quite common in Facebook Messenger. There is an encrypted mode. There's WhatsApp. There's Signal, Telegram. All these other services, they are available. You can use them across different platforms, and they can be verified. So there are alternatives to email that we probably should be considering.
Yep, I'll take your point on that one. By the way, if you're considering making a phone call to Ben, now is the time to do it. Last drinks, 922 11882 is our number. Also, don't forget Ben's email address, or should I say his website, actually. It's benaylett.com, 1L, 2 T's in Aylett. And that's where you'll find all of his contact information. And I do mean all. Any way you can contact Ben, the information is on his website.
Oliver Peterson.
Let's bring in the Health Minister, Roger Cook, joins me live on the program.
On Perth Live.
What's the difference between a playground
there we go.
which many of our listeners tell us that kids are on as we probably speak, versus a playground in a public?
There's two things about a playground in a park environment. One, we cannot vouch for the cleaning of it. Simply getting sprayed by the park sprinklers once a week isn't sufficient. And two, it's very difficult to police.
Perth Live with Oliver Peterson, tomorrow from 3 on 882 6PR. Or catch up now at 6pr.com.au.
Sometimes a little help can go a long way. Whether you're a carer, senior, or have a disability, AG In-Home Services can help you access the services you need. Our friendly team listens to your concerns and provides high-quality home-based services such as hair and beauty, housekeeping, meal preps, medical and more at affordable prices. AG In-Home Services. You choose, we provide. Find out more at aginhomeservices.com.au.
The Breast Cancer Research Centre WA is increasing survival rates of men and women with breast cancer, and their work is having a global impact. But now they need your support. In August, Breast Cancer Research Centre WA will open a new world-class centre right here in Perth, offering research, treatment and support services under one roof. A first for WA and only possible with your help. To donate, visit Breast Cancer Research Centre WA, reshaping the future of breast cancer treatment and support services.
However you want to shop, Camera Electronic can do it. Home delivery, click and collect, phone and collect, or shop in store. We do all that and and more. Our 2 stores in Sterling Street and Murray Street are still open, or you can shop online and save at cameraelectronic.com.au. Need help? Just press the live chat tab on our website to talk to our knowledgeable camera and photography professionals. We're still open and online at cameraelectronic.com.au. We love photography.
The Australian Government is supporting individuals and households during the coronavirus crisis. We've introduced the $550 coronavirus supplement, doubling income support for many. It means those on the job seeker payment could receive up to $1,100 a fortnight. We're also providing 2 $750 payments to veterans, pensioners and other households receiving income support. These automatic payments will support up to 5 million Australian households. To find out more, visit australia.gov.au, authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Hi, it's Paul McGovern here from WA Hino, and I wanted to take this opportunity to wish you all well during this unsettling period. Also to let you know that WA Hino is still open for business, selling new Hino trucks, used trucks, genuine spare parts, and our state-of-the-art service centre is open from 8 a.m. until midnight. So for any assistance whatsoever, please don't hesitate to contact me, Paul McGovern, or any of my team at WA Hino, 9351 2000, part of Ad Transnational Trucks, DL 13348.
This is Perth Tonight with Chris Isley on 882 6PR.
We're joined by Ben Aylett having a chat about technology. If you'd like to have a chat to him, 922 882 is the telephone number. Email from Mark in Atterdale, Ben. He said, I've noticed scammers are spamming email addresses again from some old breaches, which obviously means old stuff they have with the information. Usually it contains old passwords in the subject heading.
Yes, this is a remarkably common problem. And what they're doing, that they are scooping up old breaches and then using the passwords to try and lend weight to the scam or the extortion attempt. And this is all around the sextortion email scam that's going around. So if you do receive it, please ignore it. No one can actually hack into your router or to your PC and activate, not many people can. And that is usually only reserved to state actors. So when you're dealing with spies and international espionage and intelligence, that's when it can happen. It's not really the realm of just your low-level scammer. That's all it is. It's just a low-level scam. So best to ignore it.
And half the time it's just about intimidating you or scaring you into doing something, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just intimidation and just a way to try to get you to panic and then quickly cash out. Send them some money and away they go. That's really the key. Don't send them any money.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, sort of. Well, if you think I've done that, you better send me some pictures because I clearly haven't. Something else. While we're talking about people being scared and paranoid and all the rest of it, I do believe the open source code for the COVID Safe app.
Yes.
Has been released, and you might like to explain what that means when we say that the open source code has been released.
Okay, so the code has been released under open source license, so that means that anyone can grab the code, use it, examine it, and it's just a way of throwing open the book, so to say, for the public and the knowledgeable public to actually audit the code to make sure it's doing what's advertised on the label. So it's just a way of checking. And
the verdict is that everything's A-OK, despite the conspiracy theorists going nuts.
Oh, yeah, look, everything is fine. It all seems to be above board. A lot of people, the only error that they've managed to find so far is that they forgot to include Tasmania in the listing of states. That's it.
Well, no wonder Tasmania gets annoyed about that. And I've got to say, I do feel for them in that.
I certainly do, yeah. That's got to really suck.
And as mistakes go, is that one that can be quite easily fixed?
Oh, yeah. It's just a quick change to code, upload the revision, and have everyone update. Well, it should automatically update the app, so you're good to go.
It does make you wonder, though, doesn't it, why we have to go through this routine? Because so many people seem quite vehemently opposed to that. They seem to think that there was some sort of nefarious intent on the part of government.
Yeah, look, to be honest, I've pretty much lost patience with all the conspiracy theorists, whether it's 5G is bad for you or vaccines give you autism or the government is out to get you. You've seen how the government runs projects. Trying to run a conspiracy like some sort of secret organisation to do exactly what they want. You've got to be joking. Yeah, it's just madness.
It's bad news. You and I are just not that interesting. Let's be honest. Give a rat's. Good day, Jeff.
Yeah, greetings. Thanks for the opportunity. Just with the open source code for the app, what's to stop me if I was a nefarious propeller head from then hacking the app and providing a false app?
Good question. You can only submit an app if you've got a key or an account with Apple and Google. So they don't just let anyone upload an app, and it's all traced, it's all checked before it's uploaded. So even if you were to mess with a code and if you had an account with Apple and if you were to upload it, they actually check the code for any malicious activities, and in most cases they catch them out. So if you want to do that, good luck to you. It's a lot of work, and I can't see much payoff if you actually do get through.
All right, thanks very much for that, Jeff. I like the way you put that. Well, yes, you can give it a go. It's all going to be wonderful until such time as you try to upload it.
Yep.
Then it all goes pear-shaped. Ben, would you believe we're out of time?
Oh, no. I was going to talk about my little form that you can use for tracking people coming in and out of your business.
Make a note of that for next week, mate.
All right.
We've gone past the 18th, and a few people then will have opened their businesses.
Yes.
Thank you very much for talking to us. You know your time's appreciated.
Anytime, mate. Thanks very much.
And don't forget, benailets.com.
Hey there, mate. Great to hear from you, as always.
All right, thanks for having me on again.
Anytime, mate. All right, we'll talk to you later on.
All right, catch ya.
See you, mate.
And that's a wrap. So there we go, guys. Thanks very much for joining me once again. You can find me at benaillet.com. 0419 965 196 is my phone number. You can call when you're within Australia. Find me at Ben Aylett across all of the social media platforms. So that's Ben Aylett, AYLETT. And of course the website, benailett.com. I'm on 6PR every Tuesday night from 8:20pm to 9pm. Happy to take your calls. If you want to call and have your question featured on the air, just call 922 111 882 every Tuesday night on Perth's 882 from 8:20pm. I will catch you guys then. Thanks very much.